saying sorry. And I can't even get mad at you no more. You try to bring me down. Time and time again.
And you're listening to the soulful sounds of Northern Virginia's own Queen David. Sultry and soulful are just some of the adjectives that have been used to describe local duo. And Deja Smith and Nicole Williams are joining us here today. First of all, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my goodness.
To be here.
Yes, this is super exciting. You just saw a little, where was that clip from? What was that, from something recent?
Yes, so we just did a live recording for just a small, intimate group of people that have been with us since the beginning. And so we wanted to do something to honor them in that space. And we give a lot of energy in our live performances, so we did something special in that moment.
I love it. Well, let's talk about, you both are from Northern Virginia.
Yes.
How did this all come about? And what about the name as well, Queen David? What does this all mean? Break it down for me.
Okay, so from the beginning, we met in a studio actually in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
And I was producing there, and then Deja was songwriting there.
Okay.
And then the studio actually shut down, and then we started working on a project together. And after working on that project, we kind of solidified ourselves as a production duo, and then we decided to name ourselves Queen David, which is based on the underdog story of David and Goliath in the Bible. And so King David, you know, he was in that space of being an underdog, but he still came out victorious. And so in the music industry, as females, you know, we're often in spaces where we're the underdog coming into the situation. So we like to keep that same energy as King David. And so it's the play on King David, but Queen David.
I love it. So you were just mentioning about that studio performance you did, an intimate gathering there. I mean, it's got to be exciting to be in front of an audience, right? I mean, in the studio you have to record, you have to do your thing, but it's not the same as having people out there, right?
Exactly. You get it.
You know, the energy, right? You know, so we wanted to capture that. We wanted to capture that visual so that we can put it out to our audience that can't necessarily get to us in person, you know. So we wanted to make sure that everybody could see that and see that vibrancy in our performances.
So what's next then for you both? What happens next? You travel? Do you tour? What's going on?
Next, so the project that you did see is coming out on iTunes May 14th. Well, on all platforms, all social media platforms,
everywhere,
and all streaming platforms. And we have the video that's coming out on YouTube because we have, you know, the stock videos of that. And we just became So Far Sounds artists, so we'll be doing performances in the city, live performances, and that's really our bread and butter. So if you see a So Far Sounds show, you should pull up. We might be there.
You might be there.
We might be there.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a good time.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so many places to be and so many, I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's good because there's lots of different ways to reach people, but then also there's lots of different places you need to be, right?
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
So let's talk about, you know, the business side of this and the music business, how this all works. You said you started as a producer, so, I mean, you said harder for women, underdog. I mean, once you get going, does it get easier or does it just get harder?
I
That's
mean,
a good question.
It's ebbs and flows, right? It ebbs and flows.
The
But
journey is still
the
going.
business side of it, you know, the life of being a producer or a songwriter, you're always trying to figure out a way to stay organized, keep up with your beats, your songs, things like that. So we created producer journals and songwriting journals. So the songwriting journal is called the Writer's Block.
Yes.
And then the producer journal is called the Cookbook. It's also
Cooking
separately, you know.
Make it happen.
But basically, they're journals that we created because we have tons of notebooks and things that we write notes in. All of that stuff. So we just wanted to capture all in a journal where you can keep track of BPMs, the beat, who you bought it from, things like that.
Also, who you're working with, splits and things like that. We like to make sure everybody is covered in the music industry.
So they can get that on Amazon.
So what would you tell young people that are coming up that maybe want to try to get into this industry? I mean, it's a tough road, but it's worth it, right?
It's worth it. If it's your passion and you have that fire, it's not going to go away. It's not something that you can just let pass you by.
Right.
So it's just, you got to work with it. Find your people to connect with, your people that are going to support you, and just be consistent and do what feels good and natural to you.
Was it hard, you feel like, making connections? I mean, to get that start? Or how do you, like, you know, how do you put yourself out there?
It's trial and error. You're gonna always get a lot more no's before you get yeses.
Right.
But when you do get yeses, it's worth it.
You gotta have that thick skin.
It's worth it. You do. You have to have the thick skin, but you just have to keep trying. If it's something that you love, you have to keep going after it.
Is there anything that inspired you here? I mean, did you start singing as a child? Were you singing at home? Did you sing in church? A lot of
Yes.
people, where did it all begin?
Yes, church.
Church,
for sure,
okay.
you know, and then I feel like the hardest stage I've ever been in is my mother's living room.
Okay.
You know, my mom, shout out to my mother, she was always on top of me, making sure I was, you know, honing my craft and my skill, just like.
It's the same. I started playing the piano at 4.
Okay.
And I was.
Did you like it when you started? Because I feel like
think
kids
I
never
did.
do. You did, okay.
I think I did.
Then you stand out, because my kids are like,
yeah.
wow.
I think I did, but just like, you know, just like my mother made sure that I practiced, you know, I was sitting there, I would be playing, and it's practice, right? So it's not going to be perfect, but
Right.
you know, you hit a wrong note, and from the other room, it's like, that doesn't sound right.
Right,
And it's like, but I'm practicing, but
Take it again from the top.
exactly. So it's like, you know, they were around us and instilled in us the hard work, the ethic to keep going, and so that is our foundation, and, you know, look where we're at.
No,
this
this
point.
is amazing. So let's talk, if people want to like follow you or follow where you're going to be, I mean, what's the best way? Social, online? How do we contact?
Oh,
connect
socials
with you?
for sure. You know, TikTok,
Yes.
Queen David, and YouTube, Queen David.
Those are our main media
Main
platforms.
Okay.
We'll get back to you. We talk to you. We
Yeah.
laugh. We're very funny too.
Yeah.
We're very funny.
We're gonna be in the comments. We'll be in the comment section for sure.
You will. Okay.
For sure.
I like it. All right. Well, thank you so much. I want to appreciate Deja and Nicole both for being here with us today.
Yeah.
Sharing
Thank
some of
you.
this music. Sounds great. It's going to be fun. You just are inspirational folks. I'm enjoying it.
Thank
You
you.
got me
you so
uplifted
much.
on a Monday. It's hard to be in a good mood on a Monday, okay?
Start the week right.
Yeah, starting on a good note. Listen.